What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over how to turn heartbreak into power. This is something all young men go through at some point in their lives, but this is extremely useful and this will literally change everything. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've been through heartbreak before at some point. So it's like, let's get right into how to use it and transform it into power because it can either break you, it can destroy you, or it can build you into somebody that you've never seen, somebody unrecognizable, somebody that has everything they've ever wanted. So, this is the journey of a warrior. A warrior is someone who embraces discipline, courage, and resilience in the face of adversity. They don't just fight battles, but they live with purpose, train with intention, and uphold principles even when it's hard. So, literally, the path of a man is the path of a warrior, as simply broken down. Warriors are crucial for society, and it's like you're either a warrior or just a loser who just sits in his room and does nothing. So, be a warrior. The key goals and needs of a warrior are that they master thyself, mastering themselves. Warriors understand that the inner battle, the inner war zone in your mind inside of you, you have to master that. Because if you just let that control you, you let your thoughts constantly control you, you're a man of impulse who can't control his emotions, you are weak. A man who is in control of his emotions is a man of power. Can't be manipulated because you're in control. You need to live by a code. You got to live by a code that's reflecting your morals, that's reflecting that of a warrior. Because if you don't have a moral code, then you don't really care about destroying your own life or destroying the life of others because you don't have a code. You got to be battle ready as well. Because being battle ready is being able to be ready for the obstacles life throws at you. There's going to be obstacles every single day, whether you see them coming or you don't. It's always going to come about, and that's the trait of a warrior: is always being ready no matter what. On the hard days, the easy days, always battle ready. Protect and provide. Crucial key factor here. All men need to be able to protect and provide. Whether you have a family right now or you're going to build a future family, you want one, you have to be able to protect and provide. You're the leader of a household. Man is the leader of a household. You're not supposed to sit there and let your woman carry you around and do everything for you because that's not a conventional relationship. That's not what the Bible says. You got to be able to protect and provide as warriors have throughout history. I don't know what's going on with society nowadays that everything's flipping around. They're trying to say women are the head of. Nah, this is like no. You gotta be able to protect and provide. You're a man. You got nuts. You got to sack. You got to sack up. You got to be able to protect and provide. Constantly be conquering. Number five is you got to walk the path alone when needed. It's a very solitary path to be a warrior, to be able to, go through those internal battles, to go through the struggles daily, to show up and wake up even when you don't want to. That's a path you walk alone. It's you and God. You have to be able to walk it even when it gets lonely. You're not going to have somebody in your corner motivating you every single second of the day. So you need to be able to show up, especially when it's just you. So keep pains and constraints. This is the hardest parts of the path is loneliness. Loneliness comes about, it comes and goes. And don't mistake loneliness for needing to put yourself in an even worse situation. You've been through heartbreak. That doesn't mean you feel lonely, you run back to that person. Because chances are you're not supposed to be with that person. That's why that ended. If God really wanted you to be with that person, it wouldn't end it. So don't get in your head. Don't let a ton of people around you try to convince you and say, yo, go back, give them a second chance. Screw that, bro. If it ended for a reason, and you need to focus on yourself. Don't let loneliness make you settle for a situation that was destroying you or will continue to destroy you. So sometimes you need to just go through that short term pain of feeling lonely and everything will change. Everything will change. It's just a little bit of resistance, but beyond that resistance is the light. It's the light. So don't go back. Number two is emotional restraint. It's not easy as a man to have emotional restraint, especially with anger, aggression, but you have to be able to control it. You have to be able to use it to your advantage because if you're a man who has a short temper, you're very easily manipulated, extremely easily manipulated. Number three, delayed gratification. If you're giving into your vices, if you're watching porn, if you're smoking, if you're drinking all the time, you're giving into instant gratification, which makes it all that harder to understand that this entire path is a journey. It takes time. It takes time to heal. It takes time to transform your life. And it takes time to get to where you want to be. But if you're constantly stuck in a cycle of instant gratification, it's going to be hard for you to understand this key point and go through this struggle, which is delayed gratification. But in the end, delayed beats instant every time. Number four is no one to blame. You take accountability for everything that you do. Warriors don't blame everybody else. They don't blame the girl. They don't blame anybody else in the situation. They take accountability and say, you know what? That relationship ended because it ended. It's nobody to blame, but it ended. I take accountability for, what I did wrong. I take accountability for it all. I take accountability for what they did wrong. That's fine. But it don't matter. I'm not blaming anybody. It ended because it needed to end. Number five is code over convenience. You gotta have that moral code I'm talking about. It's not gonna be no convenient thing. Be like, oh, this time I'm just gonna break it. This time, just this time, I'm gonna go link up with random girl and hook up with her, and it's okay. Tomorrow it starts. Tomorrow I'm not gonna, be fornicating with random women. Tomorrow I'm gonna stop watching porn. No, you have to be able to live by your moral code. It's not about being convenient. This journey isn't easy, but it's either you stay where you are and you stay being heartbroken and being sad and sitting in bed, or you actually take action and get closer to where you want to be. It's one or the other. You can't have both. Now, a warrior loses his identity in order to build a better one. Like the pain is going to reshape you into somebody new if you choose to. If you use it correctly, it will. And it's either going to shape you into a better man or it's going to shape you into a worse man. Because a lot of people try to cope with the pain by feeding their flesh, by giving into vices. And that's a temporary fulfillment. You don't feel fulfilled. It's like 30 seconds. And then you get addicted to all these things that you shouldn't have even been addicted to. And then you're just going down a path of destruction. But it's like literally that temporary pain, like it can't be numbed by things of the world. It can only be fulfilled and whole by living in your purpose. Now, heartbreak is the death of a man's old self, the needy, attached, soft version. And what dies is the ego that believed love could replace purpose. The thing with men is we're driven to chase a purpose. And when you meet a girl, especially young, as like teenagers, young 20s, we place our purpose in them because we don't have a main purpose that's engulfing our lives. Like whether you're in school, whether you kind of have an idea what you want to do, but this girl, right? You've never had love with anybody before. Maybe you've had a girl in the past, but this girl, you're so fixated on, oh my gosh, she's the best thing ever. She's amazing. You naturally, as men, we're wired to place our purpose on other things and be driven towards that. So if you get caught in the trap and place your purpose on a girl, first of all, that's not going to work. It's not going to last. It's going to end because females, they don't find that attractive, even though they might try to tell you they want you to, really put them first. But once you do, it's like, oh, they conquered you. They don't want you anymore. So it's like, you got to be able to understand that your woman isn't your purpose. You have to focus on your purpose and that woman will come. You focus on your purpose, you build it up, you build it up, you build it up. A woman isn't going to be your purpose. A woman is going to want to be a part of your life and experience that purpose with you. But the purpose should always come first, always. Once you have a family, you're married, it's a different story. But as far as like girlfriends and stuff like that goes, you got to focus on your purpose. That's what we have as men. Once you have kids and stuff like that, things change, but you always got to be purpose driven. And this is where most men either numb themselves, distract themselves, like I said, with addictions, chasing, or they rise. You reflect, you rebuild, and you refocus. It's much easier to just rise, to use the momentum to your advantage. But if you use that momentum to destroy yourself, you're hooking up with random girls, you're smoking, partying every weekend, dude, that's not cool. You're just destroying yourself, and that girl don't even care about you anymore. You're just a loser, and you're proving whatever happened right. You're proving that, damn, no, she's gonna be like, damn, I'm grateful I walked away from that dude. He's a loser. So it's like, do you want to be a loser or do you want to actually be a winner? The question is yours. But the warrior chooses the latter. He uses the ashes of heartbreak to forge himself. It's literally up to you what you want to do. You can either forge yourself or you could just destroy yourself. It's one or the other. Now, my story, the call to battle, this is where everything changed. So when I went through heartbreak, honestly, it hit me like a sudden battle I wasn't prepared for. Like it truly came out of nowhere. I was so locked in on the relationship. I put all my purpose and all my energy into it. And it was like a constant, man, this is my everything, this is my everything, this is my everything. And I couldn't focus on my true life's purpose. And it was draining. It was draining as hell because I was literally placing all my energy into the relationship. And if the relationship didn't go well, I would feel like shit because I was placing all my self worth, all my value on that one thing. But that's not sustainable. That's of the world. And it's like, I felt like I was internally fighting myself because I knew I had to get out of it. I knew that there was better for me, that I was meant for more, but I couldn't let go of that attachment. I felt like, damn, man, I got lucky. This is all I have. And then whatever, it just ended up turning into something that wasn't amazing. That wasn't beautiful anymore. It was kind of just turning into, this codependent thing where it was like I was placing literally all my energy into it and not focusing on what God actually called me to do. So it's like, boom, one thing led to another. Got cheated on, bro. Then it felt like everything shattered. That's probably like one of like the lowest points ever been in, one of the hardest days ever. I'm not gonna hold you. I remember like finding out that day and just being so angry, so sad, so upset, feeling betrayed. But it's like that shit turned me into a man. That made me like level up very, very fast. Because that was probably like the most pain I ever felt in my life up to that point. And it was like I truly just felt so betrayed. I was like, damn, bro, I gave my everything into this, and this is how I'm repaid. And it's like, it wasn't meant to be. God was trying to give me the signs, bro. You got to get out of this. You got to get out of this. Like, way before that even happened. But I wanted to just ignore it and be by will and be like, it's okay. I can fix her. I can, love her so she learns how to love again. Like, bro, all that shit doesn't matter. The person that's meant for you, they're going to be meant for you. You don't got to be fixing them. You don't have to change them. You're going to love them for who they are because they already are everything that you need. So it's like, what happened with me was I just got so caught up in the moment. I got so caught up with what was in front of me, and I didn't want to accept the reality. I didn't want to accept I needed to let it go. The one thing that I was clinging to was holding me back, and I needed to let it go. And it's no love lost, all love to her. I honestly like still got love for her. I hope she's doing amazing. But it's like as far as my journey goes, I had to let it go to move forward, to be better, to be a better man. And truly this situation shaped me into who I am today because it made me realize that you can't put anything before God. You can't put anything before your purpose because when you do and that thing crashes, you're done. You're gonna feel immense pain. But when you keep God first, your purpose first, and that one thing falls, it don't even matter because your foundation is built on God and your purpose. And it's like, okay, bye. That hurt a little bit, it's fine, but it's not gonna hurt as greatly when you have God first. Because you're like, well, I got God no matter what. You leave my life, that's fine, but I got God. And this situation is what allowed me to build my faith because I was away from the faith for so long, away from my faith in God, away from my purpose. But the pain I went through is when I reached out to God. I started talking to God, and everything changed. I feel so fulfilled, more fulfilled than ever in my life before because I realized what's truly important. Now, the wounded warrior, this is what I'm talking about. This is the wounded warrior stage. It's when the heartbreak hits the hardest. You feel fragile, you feel sad, you feel overwhelmed. It's an inner battle. Like, I literally remember vividly that day being in the car after everything ended and just being like so angry and upset and like it's crazy. But it's like the vulnerability, being that low, is what leads you towards healing and growth. Because every warrior has to acknowledge their wounds before they can rise stronger. You can't shove it down. You can't. You can't. In the past, I tried to shove down all my pain, all my uncomforts and discomforts, but it just builds up until you explode. But it's like that car ride. I remember just facing it all in my head and reminiscing everything and being hurt. And it was almost like an overnight switch that flipped. It was like that car ride home. Yeah, like it hurt. It was like me just thinking, thinking, thinking. I went to bed that night. Next day, I was a different man. And you would think most dudes like, how the hell did you do that, bro? Like most people I know, like they take weeks to get over a heartbreak. And it's because I understood that God had more for me. God had more for me. And it was that immense pain, that moment that brought me close to God. And I just felt in my heart, bro, this is happening for a reason. And now that I look back on it, I'm so grateful it happened because I would never be the man I am today without this. So it's like every warrior has to acknowledge their wounds before they can rise stronger. You got to be able to go through it. You got to be able to accept it. Yeah, it hurts. It sucks. But I promise you, bro, there's much better on the other side. So now the war zone in the mind, this is what I'm talking about. The war zone up here is the hardest part of the battle because it's going to be silent. It's going to be a killer. You're going to be in bed at night thinking about everything. You're going to start thinking, what did I do wrong? What happened? Or if you're going through this right now, brother, it's the hardest part of the journey. It is the part of the journey that it's just you and God. That's it. Nobody else can tell you anything. None of your friends, nobody can tell you anything that's going to make you feel whole and fulfilled other than God, other than being with yourself. You can't numb it. You can't constantly go hang out with a bunch of friends and girls and try to numb it because that's going to destroy you worse. You have to be alone. You got to isolate for a little bit. Jesus spent 40 days in the desert fasting alone so he could understand a bunch of things. And it's like, you don't got to go to that extent, but you got to at least spend a few hours alone, maybe in your room, maybe go for a walk in nature, but you got to reset. And that's another crucial thing is when you're going through this phase, go for runs, go for walks, sing music because it activates this part of your brain. I forget the exact name that allows you to process pain and it allows you to move on. So it's like you have to be able to go through the war zone in your mind You have to be able to face yourself. You have to be able to accept the past, whether you fucked up or not, whether you feel guilty or not. You have to face it. No matter the circumstances, you got to face it and accept it and be like, that's the past. I can't change it. It sucks. It sucks, but God has a plan. There's a reason why this is happening to me. I mean, think back to something that happened 3 years ago. It sucked. That sucked in the moment, but now you're grateful for it. I promise you have one, at least one. And it's the same thing with this. You might not see it right now, and it might be messy, painful, exhausting. You feel like a part of you is missing, but I promise you, you're whole. You came into this world alone, and you're gonna leave it alone. It's just you and God. So it's like you have to be able to understand that, yeah, it can be painful, it can suck, but this is growing pains. When you're a child and you're sleeping at night and your legs are hurting and all your body's hurting because you're growing, it's the same thing as this. It hurts, but it's growth and it's happening. And the quicker you accept it, the quicker you change. I was able to accept things that happened within 24 hours, and that's why everything was like a wow, Ivan, you seem so different. My friends were like, bro, you seem like just happier. And it's because I accepted it quicker. God doesn't want you to be sad. Thoughts of sadness, anger, frustration, that's of the devil. God wants you to be at peace all the time because he knows he has a plan for you. So it's like, yeah, shit sucks, but move on. Be at peace because I promise you're meant for more. You deserve more. Now, where the new you is built, this is where the new you is built. After you survive those dark battles, you go through the internal self talk, you go through the destructive thoughts, you face them all head on. They start to quiet down. They start to quiet down a little bit. And this is where you truly make the most progress because it forces you to confront who you are and then you transform that pain into power. You transform it into power. You use it because it's your greatest asset. At the core, anger, frustration, pain, it's energy. But energy cannot be destroyed. It can either be created or transformed. So you have this new creation of energy culminated inside of you, all this pain. You can transform it. You can transform it into either purpose and go and live in your purpose. Go to the gym, eat nutritious, build discipline and habits you've never had before, and become an absolute beast. Or you can put it into pleasure and you could go to the club and you can hook up with all these girls and you can watch Pornhub at night and you could go smoke and vape and get drunk all the time to get over it. But it's up to you. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? And if you're on this video, you know which one you want. You know you want to be a man of purpose. Just because your friends are saying to numb it and go to the club, and don't listen to them. Listen to somebody who's where you want to be. Listen to somebody who's where you want to be because I promise the quicker that you tap into your purpose, the quicker it goes away. Because I promise you, nothing of the world will solve your problems with yourself, but your purpose and having faith will. So, the structure to make 10x progress. Number one, recognize the need for change. Know you need to change. That relationship ended for a reason, but you also need to change. You need to become a better man. Warriors take accountability, and you need to understand, yeah, whatever, blah, blah happened, but I got to also become a better man. There's things I need to do. Number two, adopt new habits. Your habits can either create you or destroy you. You don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. And that's where your habits come in. You have to have habits that are building you up, making your bed in the morning, doing push ups every morning, cold showers, whatever it may be. But you have to be able to emulate habits that are going to get you closer to where you want to be. Because otherwise, if your habits are every night you smoke some weed and every Friday and Saturday you get drunk with the boys, what are you doing? You can't be a disciplined man and then also just get drunk on the weekends. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You got to adopt habits that are going to get you closer to where you want to be. You have to be locked in and you have to be consistent. You want to wake up early every day. You want to hit the gym every day, hit the gym every day. But you have to adopt habits that are going to get you closer to where you want to be. Otherwise, you can't be one foot in, one out. It's got to be both feet in the trenches, going through it every day. Number three is you got to work on mindset shifts. If your thoughts up here are all negative, 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 you got to shift them. You got to shift them to positive. I don't care if you feel like you're lying to yourself, but whatever the hell it takes, if you have to journal 100 times, I am worthy, I am happy, I am whole and complete, I am faith driven. God has a plan for me. Whatever you have to do, I don't care. Fake it till you make it because eventually your subconscious will catch on and it'll start to reframe everything in your mind. So work on mindset shifts. Don't just constantly be stuck in this negative cycle, listening to Juice World and Trippy Red and being like, oh yeah, all this sad music, I'm sad. Like, bro, that plays an impact too. Listen to high vibrational music. You want to overcome being sad, bro? Put on some freaking spiritual music, some Christian music, bro, everything will change, I promise you. Or if you like other types of music, bro, put on some reggae, some Bob Marley, bro, I promise everything will change. But if you listen to this drill music, shoot motherfuckers, and bro, you're not gonna get over it. Like it's not gonna do anything for you. Like literally, you're not gonna get over it, and you're listening to Juice World being all sad. You're not getting over it. Like grow up and be a man. Number four is you got to seek growth opportunities. You got to put yourself in positions that are going to allow you to grow. For me, I run my fitness coaching business. I'm constantly growing, constantly working on things for you guys so you guys can level up as well. You have to be looking to grow. I've invested into multiple mentors to allow me to get closer to where I want to be. I'm constantly seeking growth opportunities. Not a day goes by where I don't do anything. I'm always looking to grow because I understand that I need to grow 1% every day. I love the quote, if you're not growing, you are dying. And it's the biggest fact. If you're not focusing on growth, you're not moving forward every day, you're not looking to become a better person, and you're just sitting on your ass scrolling TikTok and vaping, bro, you're just dying. You're literally just getting one step closer to your deathbed. Death is guaranteed. It's guaranteed. We all die. But it's like you can either grow or you can just die and get closer to your deathbed every day. It's up to you. Number five, be patient and consistent. Nothing is going to be like very, very quick, but the results will show. In time, they'll show. So you got to be patient and consistent. You can't get overwhelmed. Be like, I want this now. Nah, it's on God's timing, bro. And you just got to be patient. All you can do is show up every day. And I promise, little by little, you will notice the difference. So your circle matters. Even the strongest warriors don't fight alone. They don't. They don't fight alone. During my healing process, I realized how important my circle was. Whether it was a close friend, a mentor, or even just a conversation that hit at the right time, those moments kept me going because literally all I wanted to do was isolate myself. Obviously, I wanted to process everything, but I remember that ride home. I called like one of my best closest friends, and I told him what happened. Actually, I called like two of them. Yeah, I called two of them, and I told them what happened, and both of them said different things. They were like, "Bro, just use that fuel as energy. Use it in the gym because last time I went through that, I used it in the gym. I got huge. Boom, took that note. My physique looks amazing ever since taking his advice. So nothing but love for him." And my other boy was like, "Bro, it all happens for a reason. Keep in mind that God's preparing you. The depth of your struggles determines the height of your success. Stay positive." And I took that both of them. They planted seeds in here, and they may not realize it now, but both of them planted seeds in here that allowed me to move forward. And you guys know who you are. You guys planted seeds in my head that allowed me to grow and allowed me to get to where I am right now. And lastly, I called my mentor, I called him up, and he was happy for me. He's like, "Bro, I'm honestly happy. And I'm not happy because, you're going through pain, but I'm happy for you because it means God has more planned for you. That means you're getting close to where God needs you to be." And I didn't understand at the moment, but now I do why he was smiling, because now I smile about it all. Because it's true. God had more planned for me. And I would have never known that in the moment, but now I see it. So your circle matters. And these are some of my boys right here. We were all hitting push ups in Miami, all locked in. And these brothers truly changed my life. Like, no doubt. Like, your circle matters. Like, some of these dudes were here for me in my lowest points, as I've been there for them as well. And it's like, truly, when you have guys around you who are picking you up, care about you, and want to see you win, not dudes who want to see you lose, your life will change. Because when you go through these life experiences, these battles, you have your allies in your corner to help you out. So it's like, after that is the transformation, growth, and wisdom. You got it. You're forged in the fire. You were forged in the fire. You left the battlefield. The war is over. That war is over, but there's going to be more battles to come. But that war is over. You leave the battlefield a changed man. You're more experienced. You've grown. You're wiser. You're stronger. And it's like that transformation didn't come all at once. It was broken into phases. It was broken into all the phases I just mentioned, from the hardships to the mental battles to accepting it to teaming up with my allies and talking things through with them to implementing to showing up every day, the early wake ups. It all contributed to who I am today. And that's the warrior's path. Is you return from the fire with new armor, not just to protect, but to lead, to teach, and to help others rise. Because you're your biggest testimony. Everything that you go through on the journey, when one of your brothers goes through that pain, you're going to be able to help them out because you've gone through it. But if you're bringing a man down because when you went through your heartbreak, you decided drinking, get drunk, and smash a bunch of girls, and now you're telling your boy to do the same thing, you should feel guilty inside because you're bringing him down. You're bringing him away from the kingdom. You're bringing him away from succeeding. Don't be bringing people down, bring them up. So as soon as you decide to, actually embody what you need to do and awaken from heartbreak the way you're supposed to, you'll be able to help other people out. You'll be able to help that young kid, that younger version of you who wishes he had someone in his corner because you went through it and now you got knowledge on it. And that's how you can contribute. That's how you can contribute to the next generation of men. Because that's what we need in this world. This world's all twisted with social media, a bunch of bad stuff out there talking about, men and making men weak and making men soft. But it's like we need more people to go through this and truly teach the next generation what a man is. That's what we need. There's not enough of them. So you're forged in the fire for a reason. Remember that. And the next steps from here is once the warrior heals, they don't just go back to who they were. They step forward into who they're meant to become. And heartbreak may have been a battle, but it wasn't the war. The journey doesn't just end with healing. That's the beginning of your next quest. Yeah, that war is over, but there's going to be more. And you're just getting ready. You're getting stronger. You're gearing up for your bigger battles. And truly, everything changes. I stopped seeing myself as someone who was broken, and I started seeing myself as someone who would overcome, as someone who's whole, as someone who has a great relationship with God, as someone who has amazing friends, allies around them, as someone who is happy. Truly, everything changes, but it's all a choice. If I had made the choice that day everything happened to just be sad and listen to Juice World and jam out in my car and be a DJ, yeah, I could have done that. That's easy. That's easy. It's not hard. Since when is fun placed upon partying and girls and hookups? Like whoever invented that is truly like leading to the demise of society because it's like that's not fun. What's fun is locking in on yourself and becoming a changed man and a few years from now being like, holy shit, I have everything I ever wanted because I used my pain as fuel. That's better. I'd rather have that. That's my fun than to say 3 years from now, damn, I made no progress at all. All I did was spend my money on girls and parties and watch porn, and now I'm still the same man 3 years later. Like, you don't understand how fearful I am of that. That's probably like one of the things that I would not want at all for myself or for any of you guys is to waste your life away and fall into this freaking trap of believing, oh, you only live once. It's okay that you're young, so you can have fun and you can hook up and watch porn and do all these things and be a DJ. And then when you have a family, it'll be okay. Like, bro, how do you expect to be a good father if you aren't even locking in on yourself now? Don't fall into the trap. And if there's people around you telling you to do that, you need to distance yourself because I promise you, you're meant for so much more. And the reason why you're watching this video is because God is trying to tell you, bro, you're meant for so much more. So it's like, look, I stopped seeing myself as that. I moved forward. And now what I do is I help others do the same. I help all my clients do the same, help all my guys do the same. So whether you're still in the battle or just starting to heal, your next quest is calling and you don't have to walk it alone. If you guys are serious about leveling up your life, in the link in my bio or in the link of this video, I've got a link to lock in a call with me. We'll hop on a call, we'll see where you're at, see if I can actually help you out. And if it makes sense, brother, we can move forward, work together, and get you in the right corner, have you surrounded by like minded guys, and get closer to where you want to be. But with that being said, guys, this wraps up the video. And I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this because truly put a lot of time and effort and energy into this because I want to be able to help guys who are going through this as well and show you how I, overcame it and everything. But with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and if you're serious, hit that link in bio, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.